everybody, welcome to the Michael Finkley Show. I'm Michael Finkley. Today is Friday, July 24th, 2020. Y'all, we made it to another work week, end of a work week, okay? So now, please do you, okay? It's 5 o'clock, relax, go for a drive, all right? Go for a walk around the house. Do anything, take a nice bath, all right? Read a nice book. Go to a nice movie in your living room. So please take care of you, because self-care is so important. I learned this the hard way on last year. Okay. So please take care of yourself. All right, it's the weekend. Do you? All right. This weekend I will be at church. Again, Sunday we're practicing social distance. Okay, it's our first service that we've had since the whole COVID-19 started. And it's only going to be like an hour and that kind of thing. Okay, so going to church on Sunday. Saturday, have an event with my mentors. Okay, that I counsel, that I mentor. Okay, so we're having an event. Again, social distancing, mask, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, because no one is going to give me the coronavirus. All right, so please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Alrighty. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show on YouTube. Click that bell for notifications, and you will receive an email from us about new uploads, new content on our channel. Again, thank you for all the love. Thank you for the love. We appreciate the love that you have given us here at The Michael Finkley Show, and we're continuously growing, all because of you. So again, thank you, all the viewers, all the subscribers. Thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. Continue to follow us, and we'll bring you those stories that you need to hear and that you want to hear. Now, poll question of the day. Okay, a lot's happening, lots going on in the world. Okay, mask. Okay, they're wearing a mask. A lot of people are saying we need to wear them because it not only protects the persons around me, but it also protects myself. The other persons are not wearing the mask, saying that, you know what, forget it, we're not going to do it, blah, 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 blah. Now, a lot of places have put in a policy where, hey, you have to wear them. Okay, a lot of cities have done this. Okay, so what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Should we wear a mask or should we not wear a mask? Comment below. All right. Should we wear a mask or should we not wear a mask? Comment below. Alrighty, please. I would love to hear what you think and hear the conversation therein. Okay. So our show for today, we're still in that awesome stage of career counseling, and we have an very awesome person with us. He's an expert in his field, Mr. Richard Drosin. Okay, he has his own company. He helps you with your skills, the social media aspect, and just that overall career coaching. All right, so when we come back, you will hear from Mr. Richard Drosin. We'll be right back.
Next, we have Mr. Richard Drosin. Don't you go away. We'll be right back. On the next Michael Finkley, Monday, we have Mr. Emory Davis with us as we talk about his phenomenal nonprofit organization and the fact that you can use federal funding to pay for career-based programs. Learn this and more on the next Michael Finkley.
Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. We're continuing on our conversation with college and career readiness, but with the career aspect, with career coach Richard Drosin with us. Richard, thank you so much for being on today.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's get started. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how did you even get started with career coaching?
Absolutely. So with career coaching, let me just tell you, like I was in the military and loved it, did a great time there. It was awesome. But I took one of those courses, those TAP courses, and when I sat down there, I remember literally on the other side of the room where there was a particular individual crying, and I kid you not, he said, what am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know anything else. All I know how to do is kill. All I've done is been trained, and all I do, and he was an infantry guy. He literally didn't have anything else. I sat in that course, and I thought about the guy like him. Can I help him be successful? Can I help him get to where he needs to go? So what I tried to do is I started learning everything that they taught me, and I started asking for resumes. I started revamping them, growing. And then I started building my own brand in my business to the point that I started getting to a point where I was like, you know what? Let me improve. Let me get to a point. And then I started just developing and growing and growing and growing. And I've loved it ever since.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's jump ahead and talk about some of the things that you have just learned along the way from previous positions to assist with your overall business as of now.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate. I consider myself a high risk, high reward type of guy in everything that I do. And it's just the way I lived. It is what it is. But as it relates to my professional career, I have taken steps to kind of develop and improve myself and also take on challenges. So that way I could overall be, get to a certain idea of what I like and what I didn't like. And now as a professional outside of career coaching, if I ever wanted to go back to being a professional employee, I know exactly what I wanted to do. So, I've worked in the corporate world. I've worked in the federal sector, worked in the public sector. I've been appointed in various different nonprofits. So when I tell you I've worked with every ethnicity, every type of person, type A, type B, it don't matter. I've worked with them all. So I understand sort of like how to get through the scenarios and dealing with people.
Awesome. And so now you have this awesome business that I follow you faithfully on LinkedIn. And I see the success stories that you post, and it's just so inspiring. So tell us about your business, and can you give us a few of those success stories that you have experienced thus far?
Absolutely. So I have two very specific areas. One is the career coaching, and then I have the resume writing. Now, the resume writing is tiered based upon a level of experience and what you're trying to do. So I have a basic, mid-level management, and an executive. 9 times out of 10, most of my folks come under the mid-level management because these are people already seasoned in their profession and they're trying to advance to managerial positions or get to the next level. I have a lot of clients that are also entry level, or they're not trying to necessarily move up to management. They just need some assistance to just get to that next level. And that's where I come in. My career coaching is sort of like an all-inclusive type of thing where it has LinkedIn, it has resume writing, it has unlimited interview coaching, and it's a full gambit. Now, it also includes job search strategy assistance. However, I've altered that a little bit because I don't necessarily like spending time too much sending clients jobs, and it doesn't do them any justice as far as learning and them adapting to something brand new. So what I've done now is ask them to send me jobs, let me coach them and critique them, but also give them advice on where to look and how to properly look, which has been more beneficial. So that's what I've been doing, and I've enjoyed it. I've done this for about 8 years now, but to be really honest and candid with you, over the last 3 years, it's really taken over a course of its own, so much so that I've increased my business by 750%, and that's real.
700 and what?
50%.
Crazy. Wow. And I love the way that you mentioned service. You putting the client first. Customer service is what it's all about.
Absolutely.
And I feel that's why you've been so successful. So what are some of those stories that just kind of pop out in the top of your head that kind of stand out that you persons along the way?
Well, I'm going to talk about, 2 specific stories because I can always tell you about the techie that had $150,000 increase. I can tell you about the military veteran that I got $85,000. But to me, the stories that matter, they all matter. But the stories that hit home with me that I immediately are the first 2 to come to mind is I had a mom come to me one day saying that her son was getting out of jail that day, and she, wanted a resume. I did her sister's resume, and her sister ended up getting a couple of jobs working with me throughout the years. And this was literally about maybe 5-6 years ago. So, I ended up doing a resume. The mom was like, okay, I'm going to pay you. Here we go. Here's the money. I'm going to go buy my son some clothes. Can you please verify and make sure that these look good for interviews? I said, absolutely. She sent me 2 pictures of 2 different outfits. One of them, I said, absolutely not. That's not going to work. She took my advice. He put on the one that I suggested. He got to the job fair and he got hired. Now, I know everybody's thinking, oh, what kind of job did he get? Well, he got a job at Dunkin' Donuts. And within 3 months, he became a manager at Dunkin' Donuts. And so much so that, you know, I was so happy that he ended up getting his job, that I found out a couple of years later that he ended up becoming a multi-site manager for 2 locations at McDonald's, making great money. And on top of that, you know, here's a guy, okay, convicted felon, whatever, but here's a guy who's really changed his life and still young enough to make, you know, the corrections to his life. And that right there is what it's all about: impact, change, attitude. If you hear him, how he talk on the phone now compared to how he talked when I first had a conversation with him, night and day. It's not the same person. I don't even know who he is, but I love it, you know. And then the other story I wanted to share is I had a mother come to me because she was about to lose her job, and she ended up losing her job during working with me. And she also lost her apartment. So she was in a shelter. So it was already very difficult as far as applying to jobs and trying to go to a library and X, Y, and Z. But I worked with her. You know, she said, I don't have that much money. Can you help me? I said, absolutely. Because there are times money is not the issue here. I don't want to see people win. So we did a payment plan option with her, and we worked something out that would benefit her. Well, I'm happy to report that she's been hired, to the point that she not only got a job, but she ended up getting an apartment a month later. And she sent me a message with her keys like, hey, I got an apartment. Thank you so much for, you know, saving my son. And I'm like, you know, those are really, really sweet words. But, you know, I try not to look at myself that way, because that made me cry, because at the end of the day, impact and helping people is what matters. And I'm happy to report that 8 months later, I found out she got promoted again.
Oh, hey, Zane, that is amazing. Now, Richard, I must ask this question. You
Sure.
know, within the times that we live in now, you know, we in this profession, within the career aspect of getting persons ready, there are not a lot of people that are like us. You're young, you're African American. Was there any pushback ever from people, or did people kind of look at you sideways when you first started? How was that journey for you?
Well, I can tell you I'm still living the journey now. So that hasn't changed. I can tell you that my peers on LinkedIn can post dumb stuff. How about I just keep it real? Dumb stuff and get 35 times more likes than I do, or comments. You know, there's a reason why I post statistics and facts and data, because I was a guy that never appreciated data until a couple of years ago, until I started helping recruit data analysts and realizing, wait a minute, there's fact and power in data and information and facts. So what I started doing is I kept managing all the information that I had, and kept a record, you know, of how am I managing X, Y, and Z? What am I doing? So to tell you the truth, you know, I get called scammer. I get called a scam by everybody because I charge X, Y, and Z. But people that don't know, they don't know, because this is what the going rate for the market is. There are people who are a lot more expensive than I am, and they charge a lot more and not producing half of what I produce.
Right.
I have high volume, but my high volume turns out with high success rate. Because if I tell you I'm average 21 or 22 a month during COVID, and only 3 might be failures, my numbers are high. You know, at times I might have zero failures a month. So it goes to tell you I'm very low, but high success rate. But it also takes time. Now, the biggest challenge being, as far as being an African American in this particular field, is recognition. You know, there's also a lot of folks that are just, quite frankly, better than you. And I understand that. When I mean better than you, because they've been around, they have the market, they know who they need to. But that's why I'm not afraid. I'm one of the few people that just doesn't care. I work with any and everybody. And because of that, I have a different viewpoint. So if you come to me and you're a rocket scientist, I absolutely know what you do. I know what I need to do to get you to where you need to get to. So if you want to come to me as a laborer, going to become, you know, to move from a laborer to a management position, doing something else, I will get you there. So my point is I help everybody. And that's what separates me from the people that are in the same field and same profession. I have to work twice as hard. And because I have to work twice as hard, I also have to make sure that my client pool is not limited at all. So it's also forced me to take on certain jobs that probably are pretty much very challenging, but I've beaten the odds.
Gotcha. Well said, Richard. But more to come. We'll be right back.
Coming up, Richard tells us what employers are actually looking for. We'll be right back. The Finkley Experience is an education and consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. We assist parents and their students with the college process. We train school administrators, and we also partner with colleges and universities to assist with their first-generation population. To learn more about our consulting firm and to purchase our book and workbook, please visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're still chatting with Richard about the career aspect of persons still wanting to fulfill their overall dreams within their own right in professional development. So, Richard, have you seen an increase or a decrease when it comes to business due to COVID?
Well, I can tell you that I've already been working remotely. So the only thing is I have seen an increase, honestly. And the increase is more so people trying to be a lot more prepared for their careers, which is a good thing. So we've become less reactive and more proactive, and that's what we want. I'm getting a lot of clients either fall into a couple of categories. The one that's been laid off due to COVID, the second one that's thinking that they're about to get laid off due to COVID, and then third one we're talking about folks that just want to move to a brand new career, or they just want to be prepared in advance to kind of, in case something happens, that they're already 3 steps ahead. So it's that is being recognized. And that's sort of what I'm going through right now is I have a high volume, but it's a high volume of different clients from all over.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. And so with that being said as well, what are employers looking for now? Has that changed due to COVID-19 or, is it kind of still the same?
Well, I can tell you that is what they're looking for evidently now is, they still want the same requirements that they're asking for on the job announcements and requirements. But the big thing is there is a level of obviously telework, remote work that might be necessary, and can they trust you to do the work? So I wouldn't be surprised if some of the questions or some of the things that are being discussed are, showcase or ask you certain questions during the interview to see, are you trustworthy? Are you able to do the work? Can you perform the said task at X, Y, and Z and not let it be a problem? So I could see that being something that is probably done a lot more. So, can you work remotely? Can you do the work? And I think that's ultimately the biggest thing that I think employers are looking at, dependability as well. But again, a lot of these companies are already doing this. It's just forcing them to change some of their HR standards and policies to reflect a much more engaging workforce.
Mm-hmm. Richard, I'm so glad you made that point because, different documents are needed
Yes.
for employers during this process. So what are some of the things that you've seen that your clients kind of need to work on? And is there a certain way that they have to have these different documents when applying for different positions?
Well, I consider myself sort of like the rebel of career coaching and resume writing because I don't go with the standard everybody else. I'm going to tell you truthfully, one of the biggest gripes that I have right now is I am not for these graphic style digitalized resumes because they don't go through the ATS system. If they do, good for you. But I'm going to tell you now, 9 times out of 10, it's probably not going to go through. So there's things like tables, formulas, for all that stuff that's put in the resume that actually impact the way it's being read by the system. Now, that's me. Someone else might tell you something different. But what I've noticed is I get a lot of resumes that are done in those style too, and I've had to revamp and re-edit it and change it. Now, people tend to forget. They might think, "Oh, Rich, you don't have to change much." Sometimes I don't, because if content is key, sometimes it comes down to the format and how certain things are added. If you come to me as a professional, please understand that when I help you, I've already identified the problem area that I'm going to quickly fix for you. So if it might have looked like it took 30 minutes, it probably took me a lot longer than that because I've identified and mastered my work to identify the issue and improve what you have. The biggest thing, again, is just a lot of format. Content can be somewhat lacking, and soft skills. believe it or not, people miss a lot of soft skills on their resume. And I guarantee you, once I say this, people are probably going to go check their resume immediately. There are two things that people should look at, right? Do you know what's the two biggest things that I see on a resume? Let me tell you what they are. I mean, on a job announcement, it is excellent oral and written communication. All right, point one. Then second, let me tell you this, the second one. Proficiency in Microsoft Word. Let me tell you something. 90% of the job announcements have that on there. And imagine if you're like, I have this well-written resume. I have nothing but data, numbers, and X, Y, and Z. Well, let's go ahead and have that recruiter type in proficiency in Microsoft Word. Boom. You're done. You've already been kicked out. You've been kicked out there, the keyword search. So guess what? Now you haven't made it. And let's just say that you had that one specialized skill set that they were looking for, right? And then boom, guess what? You didn't make it. You didn't make the cut.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. So would you recommend, if you have a job announcement, right? Would you recommend, kind of just copying or tailoring that to your resume with the keywords from that?
To a certain degree. I believe not everything has to be tailored all the time. I mean, I'm a big advocate. If you're going to apply for certain jobs, which are in the same scenario and same type of position or area, they're going to have a lot of the same similarities. You're either going to make it or you're not. I, Richard Drosin, don't tell my clients to switch up the resume. But if my clients do, I try not to have them alter it too much because I know what altering does to a resume. And the more you alter it, the more you change it, the more you're going to go back and say, Richard, I didn't get any hits. And I'm going to be like, okay, can I see what you've done to it? And then I immediately noticed that something happened. And I said, can you resend me the jobs that you look at? I'm like, oh God, everything that we had was already there initially. And you changed it around because you wanted to keep changing and adding. Believe the process is going to work. I believe you shouldn't spend 45 minutes redoing your resume again after having a perfectly done resume to tailor it. But again, some people will tell you that you do, only for you to come back in about an hour and a half to get declined. We had somebody else. In 45 minutes, I can tell you probably could have found 6 jobs, right? 6 jobs. And within 6 jobs, you would have been able to find you might have got maybe 2 no's, and let's just say 1 maybe, in a sense that's still out there. Then you got at least, another couple ones that just say, hey, we want to interview you. 45 minutes, you've increased your job prospect.
Wow, that's amazing. I learned a lot. Awesome. So I always end my sessions with words of encouragement. So
yeah,
Richard, words of encouragement to those persons that are, have been affected by COVID-19 and they're looking for a job, or, that person that is just trying to find something new. What would you say to them?
First, you're not alone. Okay. Recognize that you're not alone and there are people going through a similar situation. Now, I know it doesn't help by saying that, but what I do know is believe in yourself even in dark times, because you are who you are and you will push through. And believe in yourself that you will get through this and you'll get to a higher level. And at the end of the day, take care of your well-being, then take care of your personal and your professional. Yeah. Oh, I'd rather you might be much better, well-rounded and ready than be jacked up and not ready to go, because then you're going to go somewhere, be extremely eager, and then get fired because you weren't ready. And we don't want that. So my advice is words of encouragement, just push through, believe in yourself, and you'll continue to make it happen. And then there's people like me and you, Michael, that are out here to help people out. And it's okay if you don't want to pay somebody else, but you want to pay someone like us to help you. That's why we're here. We're here ultimately to not only be your accountability partner, but we're here to make sure that you're successfully able to move on and be successful in your career. Because there are people like myself and you who don't do this just for the sake of money. We don't do this because it makes us feel good that we're getting paid. No, we're not those. And those are the people that we're not. We're here to improve people and help them advance. So that's it. That's all I have.
I love it. Richard, how can they find you on social media?
Sure, you can find me on LinkedIn, Richard Drosin. You'll see a comma MSM, and then I'm on Facebook for RD Resume and Career Coaching. On Instagram, it's rdro resumes. My website is rdroresumes.com. Please feel free to contact me, and I'm here. I'm accessible, and I will answer your call to help.
I love it, everybody. Richard Drosin, for being on.
Thank you.
On the next Michael Finkley, Monday, we have Mr. Emory Davis with us as we talk about his phenomenal nonprofit organization and the fact that you can use federal funding to pay for career-based programs. Learn this and more on the next Michael Finkley.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Did you enjoy yourself? Did you enjoy the interview? All right, what are some takeaway points that you received from this particular interview? Leave them in the comments below. All right, we're going to be commenting a lot in this interview, in this video. Leave them below. All right, we would love to hear your thoughts. Alrighty, and we would love to hear from you because again, you matter. Alrighty, thank you so much, Richard, for being on and sharing your wisdom and sharing your knowledge. If you would love to be on the Michael Finkley Show, please email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com and we will get in contact with you for further information. Alrighty, on the next Michael Finkley, we have Mr. Emory Davis. Alright, so we're still in that college and career readiness mode. Okay, and again, another expert in the field, but he's going to give us more information on those government/state/local grants out there that we didn't know anything about. It blew my mind, some of the things that we talked about. Alrighty, so please be on the lookout for Monday's show. Thank you so much. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at The Michael Finkley Show and ring that bell for notification. We'll see you we'll see you Monday. Today's Friday. Y'all, it's a Friday for real. We'll see you Monday and you have a good one.